a hybrid damage. We also have Lunox here for DLSU.
Wow.
So to complete the lineup on the other side for NU, they picked the Sicilian as their choice on the mid.
It seems like they're relying on the late game. They really want to extend this game. They want to take the 1-1 standing again. We're only having a best of 2, so we want to avoid confusions. This is still the group stage, and it is a point system for all of these teams who will be having round-robin matches up against their respective groups. And now we finally get into the action. This is the last game of the series. Virtus Arcus Esports versus NU Bulldogs. I wonder who will be taking hold of the early game once again.
Now, this time, NU Bulldogs has a different approach on the map on the start of the game. And look at that. Sacred Hammer coming from Bakulan at that time. Really reaching for Godoy, giving out some damage, especially the participation of third damage from NU Bulldogs. So Godoy still will be able to easily roam around and provide assistance and space, and even the vision for Veritas Arcus, whatever Garrus is doing right now on the map. As Ong is trying to somehow melt down all those jungles to make sure that Garrus will be compromised on his getting all the experience on the jungle side.
Yeah, there was an attempt from Ong to actually deny those creeps from the jungler, from Garrus once again, and even from Godoy, still trying to replicate what he was doing in the previous game, eagerly trying to invade and just show himself up against the players here of NU Bulldogs, gathering information once again. Although for this particular matchup, I feel like there's not much assistance that you need to provide to Sanchez, our previous Game 1 MVP, since now he's holding a mage gold lane, and we can evidently see from the minimap how well he's managing things. But right now, Garrus, this might just backfire. Fortunately, he still had the quad shadow, and he will successfully get away.
That's too close. That's too close for taking that time. Actually, for Garrus, actually, if quad shadow is not available on that situation, that might be another first blood taken by Veritas Arcus. Now, we have the first turtle objective of this game, and so far, NU Bulldogs has a decent XP for them to participate or challenge the turtle compared to the game number 1, where they really struggled on getting the experience, and they don't have a chance to at least challenge and see the the situation on the turtle pit. Now, NU Bulldogs is starting to get this turtle. Bangsal together with Bakulan right now, and even Glass on the map. It's going to be a 4v2 situation in favor of NU Bulldogs. And so far, Ong together with Godoy is just trying to maintain the composure here. They want to make sure that they have that information. And Garrus trying to secure with a shadow kill, and also the retribution and the continuation for the Lycan Bounce. Take down the side grail by Bakulan. So Ong is still trying to provide some space here for Veritas Arcus to continue the action, but that stops the momentum. No, hindi pa pala. And Bangsal is going to be the next victim, and Flicker's cruiser at that time, but the members of Veritas Arcus decided to just get back immediately because they got what they want, more than what they want.
Yep, and NU Bulldogs clearly took advantage of the situation prior to that first turtle objective. Virtus Arcus Esports, their members were yet, or some of their members were yet to reach level 4, and we've seen Godoy only get hold of his shortcut ultimate right when he tried to go for an attempt for an engage against the NU Bulldogs. But then for the other members, even especially for Ong, their XP laner, he really wasn't that much able to establish the space. He wasn't able to make or to set up for his team since he was yet to reach level 4, and now we're seeing NU Bulldogs somewhat get hold of a better early game up against Virtus Arcus, and their next target might just be Sanchez here in the gold lane. But Sanchez, he won't be risking that much. He won't be going too far away from his own turret. And Virtus Arcus Esports, they're here as well. They sight everyone. They find everyone. Garrus gets caught in, but he uses the Yogi Shadow kill, and the implosion setup is there as well. And look at the damage output coming in from Virtus Arcus Esports. They're going down one by one. The Vigil Glacier was also used as well, and they are forced to run away though, since Virtus Arcus Esports loses 3 members in the process.
Sanchez was caught off guard that time. Used the orb to check out and try to reach out for NU Bulldogs, but then he realized that there are a lot of members from NU Bulldogs. I was in the impression also earlier that Veritas Arcus has an idea that there are a lot of members of NU Bulldogs waiting for them to punish them on that situation. But then still Veritas Arcus was caught off guard. They were surprised that there are a lot of NU Bulldogs waiting for them to react back on their bait hero, and NU Bulldogs got what they want, and now getting back onto the turtle pit. Let's see what's gonna happen here as Godoy together with the gang, is waiting
Oh.
for their resistance. Here comes the final slash. That's going to be the final move. No, here comes the Shadow Kill to take down Ong. And Ong still trying to fight back. Godoy is there, trying to survive. But again, Tating securing the turtle, making sure to complete the mission. And now followed by the execution. That's going to be Garrus taken down by Tating. 2 members together with the turtle. That's going to be Viridis Arcus win on that objective.
And this is a game that's definitely full of action. We're seeing the trades here and there. There's no one-sided situation happening so far. Viridis Arcus Esports, if they lost the previous team fight, now they eventually get hold of the next turtle objective and even eventually converting it to a turret here in the top lane. But will Bangsal be able to survive this, because there's the shortcut used once again, and Tate currently on a killing spree. His Roger is activated once again.
I don't know why Bangsal decided to initiate against Godoy that time and Tating, knowing that Godoy has the shortcut, and all the members immediately just went straight to take down Bangsal after taking the turret on the top lane. So NU Bulldogs, there was a slight hope earlier that they were going to win all the executions against Viridis Arcus, but Viridis Arcus immediately shutted down the fire and the heat that they had earlier. So NU Bulldogs right now is trying to regroup and somehow trying to look forward for another execution. Here comes another implosion together with a flicker. That time, no victim with a Sacred Hammer, and even the Shadow Kill won't secure, but thanks to the Quad Shadow, taking down Ong that time. So that took 4 members of NU Bulldogs to take down Ong.
Gerez is having the best time of his life right now on this Hayabusa, currently sitting on a 411 KDA. And Viridis Arcus Esports, it seems like they're struggling to provide answers to the intentions or to the engages provided to us by NU Bulldogs. And they're really set on taking down this first tier turret in the bottom lane. They really want to make things happen. They want to deny Sanchez of the MVP once again, the MVP for 4 months. And now they're transitioning once again into this next turtle objective, which they might deny from Viridis Arcus Esports again if Viridis Arcus fails to find the perfect opportunity.
Well, Godoy finds a victim here. That's going to be 2 together with a shortcut, and it's going to be cut short as well because of the final slash, but Bangsal will be taken down immediately. Here comes the follow-up of the Lycan Bounce, surviving, but Martin won't, and Ong still is alive on this game, but a Shadow Kill will be spread out, and still, oh no, it's going to be Ong taken down, but Geras will sacrifice his body just to take down Ong and stop the momentum, but a turtle will still go onto the side of Viridis Arcus.
Just when we thought that NU Bulldogs were already setting up for the best possible situation for them to get hold of that last turtle objective once again, Viridis Arcus, they were also prepared. The Rizal University just went straight in. We've seen Tating focusing on Gerez, and he was poked low enough. He was just forced to use the Ogun Shadow Kill at the last minute, and he was able to get a kill, but that didn't mean that they won the fight. And now it's Viridis Arcus Esports getting the first bottom lane turret and eventually a kill onto Martin as well.
Martin again. So this is going to be a big problem for NU Bulldogs. But here comes the respondents of NU Bulldogs trying to get but Sanguine Claw is there. So of course, implosion to stop Sanchez from escaping against NU Bulldogs. But Godoy is still alive with just an inch of his life. Of course, there comes Bangsal to use the vengeance to reach out the Lycan Pounce. Will be spread out against the bodies of NU Bulldogs, wrapping them down. And Bangsal will be the next victim, looking for the triple kill. And Blast is still alive, but the flicker won't save Chua. And here comes Geras. Shadow Kill for Tating. And Tating will fall down, but here comes Ong. The battle continues, and the Ninja won't be able to hide anymore as Ong stops this fight. And Viridis Arcus is still winning every moment against NU Bulldogs.
I'm just sure that Tating right now, he's mad. He wants to get the kills. He wants to make sure that he gets those Lycan bounces onto the members of NU Bulldogs, and he's been successful. If it weren't that long, if it wasn't that much extended of a team fight, then probably Viridis Arcus Esports, they would have gotten the clear win when it came to that. But now we're seeing that NU Bulldogs, they also have this capability to re-engage. They can also just turn things around whenever they want to, and Viridis Arcus Esports, they have to be extra careful in whichever next steps they're going to take, especially looking at the advantage that they were already able to take away from the Bulldogs. They just have to maintain this. They just have to hold on to this if they want to get that clean 2-0.
It's very frustrating if you are the NU Bulldogs right now, because every time that you're going to get a highlight or a spotlight on this game to take down a casualty against Viridius Arcus, there's always an answer immediately from Viridius Arcus. So just like what happened on the bottom lane earlier, NU Bulldogs was able to take down Sanchez that time together with Chua, but the respondents from Viridius Arcus was too fast. They are really reacting immediately and accordingly against NU Bulldogs. That's why whatever the advantage and even the bounty that they got on that situation for NU Bulldogs, it was taken back immediately too by Viridius Arcus. So from time to time, if that's going to be the problem in the situation, it is going to be another blueprint to find out and to write down for NU Bulldogs.
And but fortunately for NU Bulldogs, they have the late game potential. They have the late game defending capabilities despite Viridius Arcus Esports getting hold of this Lord. This level 1 Lord, which they might just utilize, they might just maximize as they are eager to look for an engage. The final flash is used already onto Ong and his vengeance is also forced out. Sanguine Claws, they have to avoid as much as possible the crowd control, the AoE setups that can come up from NU Bulldogs as they just focus on taking down the necessary outer turrets before engaging in any team fight.
Well, Viridius Arcus Esports was not able to maximize the Lord this time compared to game number 1. It's a better defense for NU Bulldogs, knowing that their lineup also has the clearing potential compared again to game number 1. So NU Bulldogs just needs to prolong this game for them to have a chance to get those items, especially for Nathan, for Martin, to unleash the power that they're expecting from him. But Godoy is really tanky. He's trying to sustain all the damage coming from Blast at time, but still the pressure continues for Viridius Arcus, and NU Bulldogs is not having a comfortable situation on their jungle side to at least get some golds in here to get those items. And NU Bulldogs is probably planning to get an ambush here against Viridius Arcus.
So far they're struggling, but they're just holding on to their late game. They're just waiting for that moment where they can eventually turn things around if they successfully are able to defend the succeeding sieges or Lord sieges or possible attempts from Viridius Arcus Esports to put an immediate end to this game. And so far, we're not seeing like a complete shutdown whatsoever. Blast, up to this point, he hasn't been taken out by Viridius Arcus Esports. He also already has the Clock of Destiny and the Divine Glaive as well. Just wait for a few more items. We can already start to feel his damage. And even Martin on the Nathan, he already has 3 core items in his arsenal. He's waiting for a little bit more damage, and we are yet to see that Viridius Arcus Esports risk that much to eventually like lose the game, because they're also very disciplined as well. So we're just waiting for things to happen. Magic Center was also used already here by NU Bulldogs, and they're just trying to position themselves right in time before we see the next Lord objective that might happen and that might be contested by both of these teams.
What I can imagine for NU Bulldogs is for them to wait for the crowd controls and the mobility from Viridius Arcus to be burned out first, and then that's the time that the final slash from Bangsal will be used for them to at least capitalize and utilize the damage output coming from Martin's Nathan. So this time we have the Lord. So there will be a challenge probably coming from NU Bulldogs because they are not controlling the space at the jungle here on the side of NU Bulldogs. And Ong right now trying to check out if there are any respondents coming from NU Bulldogs. But still, Tating leading the way, making sure that this Lord will be taken by Viridius Arcus. And NU Bulldogs is just waiting for the perfect opportunity for them to counter-initiate and to somehow get a moment here to steal that Lord. And here comes the final slash again. Metallic will secure the Lord. Vengeance trying to prolong and together with the Conqueror Inferno. But Bangsal still will be able to escape, and Ong will fall down immediately on the other side. Quarter together with Chua and Bakulan trying to run down. But the burn effect still lingers on. No, it ward off, and Taring will be taken down. Here comes Gares, but Gares is too low to fight back against Viridius Arcus, losing 3 members, but still securing the Lord on that situation.
NU Bulldogs right now, they're surprisingly tanky. Not even Tating is able to take down that member he's been attempting to target, but right now Blast, there's the Winter Crunch in play. Chua is forced to run away, and now Martin, they're really defending and stopping this Lord from marching any further towards their lane. But here comes the other members of NU Bulldogs. Godoy trying to run away. He will be caught in Sanguine Claws, and there's a brief stun used onto Bangsal, but he will still be able to use the Vengeance, and he's chasing after Godoy. He's not letting him away, but he will be able to survive.
Too strong, too tanky that time for the members of NU Bulldogs. But here comes Gares to finish and to clean it up thanks to the Quad Shadow. sticking out against Godoy. Now, NU Bulldogs, this is their time right now to get the spacing, all the spacing that they can against Viridus Arcus Esports.
Yeah.
Magic Sentry on the top, spotting out the members of Viridus Arcus. So NU Bulldogs is having a better time because they are just continuously pushing through onto the bottom lane.
They were forced to recall. They both had to go home. They had to send their members back to defend because no one knows whether or not they'll be pursuing the inhibitor turrets. Fortunately for NU Bulldogs, they see that their waves on the top lane are still high enough. They don't have to worry that much. But for Viridus Arcus Esports, they definitely had to go home. There's an incoming wave that once they let pass, NU Bulldogs might have just taken down the first inhibitor turret of this game. But now, we're in this situation once again, Yakuron. Hinihintay na naman natin ang susunod na magiging Lord objective as both of these teams, they're just being very disciplined and patient in whichever things or whichever next steps they're planning to do because they can't lose a member at this point. We're 15 minutes into this game. They have to be complete whenever there's a next Lord objective.
Exactly. Back onto the waiting game lang tayo dito. Probably this next Lord is just going to be a decoy on this engagement. And NU Bulldogs and Viridus Arcus might just look forward for the executions or the casualties that they can take later on. So Viridus Arcus Esports, they lose the 3/4 of the map control earlier against NU Bulldogs because NU Bulldogs was able to at least balance out the minion waves and even the pressure on all the phases right now. So checking out the items, look at Garrus' Hayabusa, Sky Piercer, Counter Strike, Blade of Despair, and even this penetration. This is too much for a single hero to handle, especially Chua and even Sanchez. So Garrus is really a threat on this game. Later on, if Garrus was able to at least use that final slash, Bangsal, but knowing that final slash, medyo mabilis lang naman ang cooldown niya. So that will be available later on, especially this is going to be a Lord, long Lord dance.
Yeah, and Bangsal with the final slashes has been a very reliable XP laner so far here in this match. He's been providing the setups for his team. He's been pursuing the members who are very low on HP whenever they get some from Viridus Arcus Esports, the necessary pokes. But speaking of engages, speaking of initiations, that's a two-man implosion from Buns again, Pakulan, and they will be able to take down Sanchez, the gold laner, Viridus Arcus Esports, and Ong will be the next to fall. They lost 2 members in the process right before this Lord objective. This 18-minute Lord, but look at the amount of damage coming in from Chua as well as Tating. Tating takes down Bangsal, and he's still going for it. There's the Lycan Bounce, there's a triple kill from Tating, and they will be able to turn things around.
Grabe, Tating, kahit huli yung dating, may dating pa din. That's gonna be Tating for you, ladies and gentlemen, making sure that this will be stopped immediately. NU Bulldogs just making sure also. I thought NU Bulldogs earlier was the one who's going to have the momentum on the game, but they did not realize that Tating's damage, they really just forgot about Tating's like and pound, and also Godoy's multiple crowd control. All of them are compiling up on that single brush earlier, so that's the opportunity for Viridus Arcus to strike back and clean up the NU Bulldogs, and now Viridus Arcus was the one who secured the Lord.
Grabe si Pakulan doon. That's all I can say. He really looked for Sanchez here. He made sure that he won't be present for the next team fight. But even though we thought that that could have been a huge advantage for the NU Bulldogs, you've mentioned it. They forgot about Tating. Right now, Tating, he's 11-3-1 on this Roger. And whenever there's an objective, you would really want to make sure that it's the jungler who won't be present. It's the Retribution holder who will be the least likely member of the opposing team to be there for his teammates. And now, NU Bulldogs with the Nathan, with the Sicilian, could they successfully defend this Lord Siege coming in from Viridus Arcus Esports?
This is the final defense probably for NU Bulldogs, and look at the damage there, and Garrus felt it immediately, so Garrus was forced to get back and to regen some life. Now this Lord is marching toward the top lane, so it will just be taken down by the NU Bulldogs, but next wave of minions is going to be the problem for NU as Viridus Arcus is looking forward to destroy all those turrets available for NU Bulldogs. So still, the final slash won't connect the time from Bangsal, and Godoy is trying to taunt him, and still Viridus Arcus will just keep their discipline intact and make sure that they will just respect the capability of NU Bulldogs to strike back against them.
So, How many minutes did we end the first game? That was
13 minutes.
That was 13 minutes. And now we're going 20.
20 minutes, and this is going good for NU Bulldogs
It is, it is.
their lineup is really relying on prolonging the game.
It is, yeah.
That's what Sicilian needs, right? For Blast, for him to keep up those stacks, and even Martin to secure all those items and provide the massive damage output for DPS against the members of Viridus Arcus Esports.
Yep.
So still, we're going to wait again for another Lord objective, for another engagement to somehow happen between the two teams.
This is going to be a very important late game, not just for NU Bulldogs, who we clearly see might just have the advantage when it comes to the late game, but all the more for Viridus Arcus Esports. They were able to secure that early game. They were able to get hold of this much map presence, map control up against NU Bulldogs. But we're seeing the struggle. They just can't put an end to this game. They have to answer so many problems that now NU Bulldogs is gradually getting hold of the item. Blast, now we're slowly seeing him being a little bit more confident in terms of positioning, since he also has the Blood Wings with him. He might just have the Winter Truncheon as well. And you can always rely on Pakulan. You call it the Sacred Hammer. You'll just momentarily push these members from Viridus Arcus Esports away, and now we're seeing probably the last Lord fight, depending on these teams if they want to prolong this any longer.
Probably this could just be again a decoy on this game. And here comes another shortcut, but Ong, together with the gang, was really checked out by the members of NU Bulldogs at times, so they don't have the proper position. And here comes the final slash also, displacing Godoy that time. Another crowd control onto the backside, but Tua rather, will be able to escape using the flicker. And of course, Frozen Pakulan that time, and Godoy will be taken down immediately. That's the damage that we're looking forward, coming from Martin. Another implosion that time, and the Sanguine Claw taking out Sanchez. They don't have any chance to react anymore, and that's how you do it for NU Bulldogs. But look at the minions right there on the top. What's gonna happen there? And still Blasted Barsal will be able to protect it. And now, they look forward for the comeback, as Tua is the only one defending the space against NU Bulldogs.
The Immortality will be back here for Pakulan, and we're yet to see the minion waves for NU Bulldogs. They need to wait a little further before they put an end to this game. Will they be risking it? Chua's still here to defend. They have a single card minion alongside them, and Chua will be trying to do the best defense of his life. There are minions spawning as well from the side of Viridus Arcus Esports, but there comes the succeeding wave, and this might just be it. We're seeing a tie. It's a 1-1 for the first series of UAAP MLBB.
That's how you start a series number 1 for UAAP Esports Mobile Legends Bang Bang. Wow.
I cannot believe my eyes.
Wow.
Wow. And NU, they're just very happy with this. They're so happy with this tie, this 1-1 standing. Both teams secure 1 point each. Am I right?
Yes, 1 point each for them. NU Bulldogs not giving up on that play, not giving up on that game, making sure that they will also give a hard time for the LaSalle Viridus Arcus to get and collate their points on the upcoming games or upcoming series that they'll be having. So NU Bulldogs and the LaSalle Viridus Arcus, both of them each has 1 point.
And now the group stage has been closer than ever. Not one team is leading yet so far, and we're just about to establish things in the coming games. We have 3 more series left. We're so excited to see the next few games, but for now I think it's time to celebrate the victory.